Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I've got your very first gameplay and overview for the Jaguar IS. This is a currently rank 7 battle rating 11.0 event vehicle strike aircraft for the British Air Force's tech tree and comes as the vehicle reward for the Sword of Justice event. Now this is an Indian variant of the Jaguar, so it is pretty cool in that regard. Plus it is the highest BR Jaguar, at least currently in War Thunder. Now this vehicle has higher thrust than the other Jaguars and also better rate of climb, so we're having better performance overall from this, plus the fact that it has two Magic 2 all-aspect missiles, which are pretty damn good. Now, additionally, you do have, of course, Mark 13 550 kilogram laser-guided bombs, along with the Lightning II targeting pod, so versus ground targets, this thing should be pretty potent as well. Now, in this gameplay, I will take it through a few different types of matches. So the first match, I will only have the Magic 2 missile, so you can see exactly how this thing performs as a fighter, a pure fighter. The second match, I will take this out with secondary ordnance, probably with the full load. I might even go out with a partial payload in another match, just so you can see how the bombs impact this thing's performance. And then finally, I will take this out in ground RB, so you can see exactly how this performs in that role as well, because I know that you guys want to know exactly how good of a strike aircraft this would be to support your ground lineup. That being said, if you don't mind, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. But without further ado, let's get into this. And remember, I'm going to be as honest as possible with this, so if I don't do well in a match, you guys deserve to see that, because I'm not here to prop up any vehicle that Gaijin puts out there so that I could try to trick you into buying it. I want you guys to know exactly how good these are. That said, let's get into it. So as we get a little bit closer to the actual fighting here, just some really important things to note. This vehicle is pretty much always going to be in an up tier. Even if it's not complete up tier, it will be in up tiers pretty damn often. Heck, I've never been in a complete down tier with this. This match right here that you're seeing right now is the closest thing to an actual down tier I've been in, and there are still higher BR vehicles than this. Now that said, pretty much every vehicle in this match, at least on my team, is better at killing, at least aside from other Jaguar ISs, they're going to be better at killing other enemies, other aircraft, than I am, right? Maybe not the Tornado TR1, but that's because it, like the Jaguar IS, is a strike aircraft. But you have the F4EJ ADTW, the J7D especially, J8B. Pretty much all these vehicles either have more missiles, better performance, one thing or another, they're going to be better than this vehicle. That's just how it is. You know, and you have to remember, that's kind of part of the package with this. This is a strike aircraft. Of course, you have some strike aircraft, especially at lower BRs, that can compete very well with fighters. This is probably not going to be one of them. It just doesn't quite have the moxie, so to speak. It only has two missiles, all aspect, of course, and those missiles, while good, aren't like absolutely amazing. They're really nice in some instances, but most people can just flare off of them. Simple as that. Okay, let's see if we can get ourselves this F4S kill. Got the kill! Very nice. But I feel like I have an enemy behind me. Yes, I do. So, again, I want this gameplay to be as real as possible. So, if I die, I die. Now, this F4J, he is here. Now, I am going to tell you guys right now that the overall maneuverability on this vehicle isn't all that bad. I mean, I've actually been somewhat impressed by it. The general turning capability, that was ugly on my part. The, one thing about this thing, once you, like, get damaged, it loses pretty much all of its air oh yeah, look at that, we are in a complete up tier. But once you get damaged at all, forget about it. You're gonna crash, like, you're gonna lose all your speed. That's one of the big faults about the Jaguar. Any damage will pretty much slow this thing down to a crawl, and that's what we're seeing. But in general, so long as you're not damaged, I can speak on a few things here. Let's see if I can try to trick this guy into a head-on. Maybe, maybe not. And I can. I'm still alive somehow. And now I'm not. So, that said, some real quick facts about this thing that I've noticed. It is actually pretty quick. It can only get to above Mach 1 at sea level, and then the aircraft starts to break apart. But otherwise, it's actually got pretty decent acceleration. It comes out of a turn pretty well. It gets a lot of energy pretty quickly, but much better than the GR1A. But, of course, it's going to be slower than most other vehicles that you have to fight. It's got pretty decent turning, as you saw in this video, but not amazing. So I said, let's go load up with the full bomb loadout, see what this thing does. I've got a feeling it's going to be slow. So something I think that's kind of important to note here. When it comes to this vehicle, like, this is its strike aircraft, like a full-on strike aircraft loadout with just a complete, like, literally this is maxing it out pretty much in terms of the weight that it can carry. And it's going to be, for the most part, slower than almost any other vehicle that can also take bombs to the match. And that sucks. Like, genuinely, that really sucks, because whether you have bombs or not, whether you have, you know, missiles or whatever, you're pretty much, at its current BR, this thing is going to be pretty much outclassed by more or less everyone that it will have to fight. Let's see if I can actually hit that guy. Probably not. Yep. These are not like the smartest freaking missiles in the world. They will get tricked by other missiles, by flares, of course. So let's go ahead and see if we can bomb. The whole point of this match is to see if we can actually hit a base and what sort of damage, what sort of score you can actually get from doing so. Now, I only equipped 20 minutes of fuel because I felt like, being that this is the city map, that's what would be usable. In most other maps, it is going to have to be 30 minutes of fuel. It doesn't really matter how big it is. Just city is a pretty small map. So let's go ahead. We still have 7,000 pounds of bombs left. I'm just going to drop 4 on here. Not sure if that's going to do the trick. By the way, out of like 6 attempts of trying to do this, this is the first time where I've actually been able to make it to the enemy base. Okay, so we're going to need, what, 5 bombs to be able to destroy it? That's not terrible, but that also means that a full bomb load is only going to be able to get 1 base, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and pull away and just drop the other 2 on this. Now, again, you can't carry napalm, which is, I don't know if that's going to be kind of a detriment to people, but 1,000-pound bombs are the biggest and most destructive bombs you can carry, at least versus bases. Now, we have a completely empty payload here. Let's see if we just die right away. That's kind of the, again, I'm not here to be like, oh, I got 50 bajillion kills. If I get a kill, if I get 2 kills, so long as it's usable gameplay, that is what matters, because you guys deserve to know. Now, I can tell you this, if I haven't already mentioned it, you're going to be in up tiers all the time. And at 11.0 BR, again, you have planes in your matches that are going to be able to perform the same exact role that you can, whether it's strike or as a fighter, better than you. I mean, it's just how it is. Genuinely. Like, I would much rather be in an SU-25 at 10.0 or 10.3, whatever BR it is currently, than this at 11.0. Any day of the week. Any day. So let's just see if we can gun someone down, but probably not. We can put those flaps on at pretty high speed, which is nice. Here's up. I lost control at the worst time. Always happens like that. 10 Gs, turn up, and we should be able to catch him at the apex, unless that F-14 does so, which he probably will. I don't know why he didn't just try to gun him down. We have ourselves some severe damage, which should equate more or less to a kill. Oh, that was on me. I should have been able to kill that guy. I was just not paying attention. So, I mean, this thing also does turn fight pretty decently. I mean, it's not really necessarily saying much versus a MiG-23, but it can turn fight. Okay, this guy is turned around. He definitely wants some. I'm going to try a head-on with him because I really don't care at this point. See if we can actually get ourselves a kill. Got ourselves severe damage. Look at that. So even though obviously having 2 missiles is going to be much, or 2 cannons is going to be much better than just having 1, it still can do some damage. 30mm Aidens aren't really fantastic, but they aren't terrible either. But I do actually really have to head back to base ASAP, despite the fact that I do still feel like I can fight on a little bit. It's just not going to work here. You know what? I'm not going to be able to make it back to base with this guy trailing me. But overall, not too bad. 2 kills, bunch of bombs dropped, 1,732 points. Honestly, this has been one of my most successful matches with a Jaguar IS yet. Let's go ahead and turn down that payload to something a bit more reasonable and see if the outcome is any different. Just so you guys know, I think actually I've got a much more viable payload here. So I've got the 4 larger pods of the CRV-7 rockets, as well as 2 centerline 1,000-pound bombs. So this thing is actually moving pretty quickly. I'm getting up to Mach 1, and this is even with 30 minutes of fuel, whereas the previous match, I couldn't even get anywhere near that, nor near as quickly, with 20 minutes of fuel. So it's a big weight savings, and I think it's like 1,700 kilograms lighter, and also has a lot less parasitic drag. So pretty viable, if you ask me, for a strike loadout, if that's what you want to do for Air RB. So I'm just gonna go. Oh, whoops! My rockets are a little bit screwed up here. I'm just gonna go drop 2 1,000-pounders on that thing. Hopefully, I can get that without this guy getting the kill. Okay, we both got some kill. Okay, very nice. So it looks like my rockets are in tune with my guided missiles. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to try not to have them fire at my base. But, hey, if that's what you want, you can at least try to do it, right? So as you can see, I mean, the CRV-7s, if nothing else, seem to be pretty decent versus bases. I just took out, with like, what, 18 of those, I think, in that run, about a quarter of the base. So this thing actually seems like a pretty decent base strike. Now, when I say decent, is it going to be great? I don't know. I mean, at this BR, you really probably aren't going to be base striking anyways, but it is an option if that's kind of your gameplay style. Okay, we have an A4E over here. I'm going to go launch on him from a distance, hopefully that way. Ooh, maybe that's not a good idea. I might just go in with guns. See if we can pull that off. Put the air brakes on a little. And we have ourselves a crit. Sometimes that is all you need. But, of course, the A4E is not going to be a plane that you see very often at this BR. Of course, it can happen, but just don't expect it. So, I mean, thus far, not too... Oh, wow. See, that's how little it was worth. I've gotten already, like, more than a half ton of bombs dropped and 1 kill, and yet it means pretty much nothing. Okay, I'm just not trying to fire... I have to get my keybinds reset, it looks like. I'm just trying not to fire my missiles simultaneously with my rockets. Okay, and there we go. With the remainder of those rockets, I was able to probably destroy about, what, 55% of the base? That's not good. Holy crud! Talk about a close call! Wow! Let's see if I can gun this guy down. I doubt it. I doubt it. Sometimes, though, firing a missile at these people from behind is going to be the ideal, because that way you can kind of, like, breadcrumb it right into their tailpipe. And that's not going to happen here. So I think I'm going to die. Because as you can see, I mean, he can just keep... Yeah, someone got me that wasn't even paying attention. Whoops. So that said, let's get into a ground RB match, see what this thing can do, but not terrible, I guess. But again, I mean, like, you're going to be in up tiers all the damn time. And I think that is what's going to suck so freaking much with this thing. Unless you get a lower BR. Which, by the way, Gaijin, almost every one of their mom has all-aspect missiles, except for, like, some Phantoms at and around this BR. Especially strike aircraft. It's like, you don't need it to be 11.0 BR. Or at least decompress it, man. Jeez. Okay, so here we are, CAS with the Jaguar IS. I've got 6 1,000-pounders and 38 CRV-7 rockets. Now, if you're wondering, hey, why aren't you doing the lightning pod and the laser-guided bombs? Well, I'll do that in a moment. To be honest with you, I need more of a sterile setting for that sort of thing. I'm just not all that good with those. You know, I know. That is actually probably my greatest weakness in War Thunder, is using laser-guided bombs. No joke, that is probably it. So, that said, let's go ahead and bomb some people, see what we could do. We got some enemies over here, hopefully no SPAA. Ooh, we had ourselves a nice crit. against that Leopard 2K. CRV7s have a little bit worse when it comes to anti-armor. Like, they don't have as good of armor pen. However, they do have a bit more explosive filler, if that means anything to you. So there's that. So let's go back and turn around, use some 1,000 pounders, probably on this C point. Unless I get shot down again, that would suck. Pretty freaking bad. Okay, we had a few hits right there, and 2 kills. Very nice. Although I did have to use up a large amount. Oh, there we go. I'm probably going to die now. Let's go put these flaps on. Maybe we can get like one more really quick run here. Not sure. Is that the guy? Oh, no. This is the guy. And we have ourselves a final kill. So I said, let's get into laser-guided bombs, see what we could do, and, you know, and test drive. And I'll give you my final opinions on this vehicle, because I have a few. I have got actually quite a few, and they're not necessarily the best. Well, the most favorable. So I just want to finish off this video showing off again the Lightning II targeting pod, plus of course Mark 13 laser guided bombs, and also give you my final opinion, or the quote-unquote truth, on the Jaguar IS. Now this vehicle is fantastic. I know that seems kind of contradictory to what I was saying, but just bear with me, it all kind of makes sense in the end, and I'll go over why in just a second. This vehicle has substantially better performance, definitely noticeably better performance over the GR1A, which itself is actually a very, very good aircraft, and it is just more capable in every way compared to, again, the GR1A, which is its closest comparable vehicle in the British Air Force's tech tree. It's got better armament, better performance, it's just better. And so you might be wondering, well, haven't you been saying this vehicle sucks this entire video? Well, the plane itself is great. It just has to fight MiG-29s, F-16s, F-14s, and equivalent-ish planes. It just gets in up tiers all the damn time at 11.0 BR, and that sucks. Like, this thing has 2 Magic 2 missiles, which by themselves are good, but every plane that it fights has at least equivalent missiles, and more of them. It's got radar guided. They have better performance. They have more countermeasures. Sometimes they even turn better in the Jaguar IS, which, by the way, Jaguar IS actually turns quite well. It hits like 14 Gs, which is pretty good. But again, this thing is just outclassed. It's not that it's a bad plane, it just gets completely curb stomped in Air RB. And so I think that this would probably benefit from a 10.7 BR bracket. It just right now at 11.0 BR has to fight way too much. Either that or we see some more decompression at top tier. But right now, even in ground RB, it's at 11.0 BR, probably would be a little bit better at 10.7 BR. I don't think that this vehicle would at all be dominant at 10.7 BR. It would probably just be another vehicle. It'd probably just be good, not great. And so right now, like, Gaijin has this weird thing where some vehicles, if they have all aspect missiles, Gaijin's like, oh, you sentence them to the 7th layer of hell. And then some vehicles, they're like, you know, yeah, give them $1 million, right? Like, they give some vehicles very favorable treatment and act as though they don't have all aspect missiles in terms of their BR placement. And then you have a vehicle like the Jaguar IS where it's just sentenced to like ridiculous punishment at 11.0 BR. I don't think that it needs 11.0 BR, probably 10.7 BR. Again, this vehicle is very, very good. It just fights much better vehicles. You can look at the American Air Tech Tree, for example. A6E Tram, it can carry more laser-guided bombs. I know it doesn't have the Lightning II targeting pod, but doesn't it have like an internal targeting pod? Regardless, it can carry more laser-guided bombs, heavier laser-guided bombs, and has a lower BR. Plus, it can carry 4 AIM-9Ls if it so chooses, which are more or less similar to the Magic 2s, and it's a much lower BR. Yes, I know, it's subsonic, whatever. It doesn't necessarily matter all that much that it's subsonic. I would much rather take the A6E Tram at 10.3 BR than I would the Jaguar IS at 11.0 BR, and possibly even if the Jaguar IS was at 10.7 BR, I'd still probably rather take the A6E Tram at 10.3 BR. It's just that much better than this vehicle in terms of its overall capabilities, regardless of the fact that it's subsonic and can't quite turn as hard. So do I like the Jaguar IS? Yes, I do, but it just fights way, way better planes in it, and in ground RB, it's kind of a crapshoot. If you get shot down or not, you pretty much have to hope no one is going to see you. So do I recommend purchasing this vehicle on the marketplace? kind of, if you really need it, if it stays at 11.0 BR, maybe $25, maybe $30. Add about $10 onto that if it goes down to 10.7 BR. The F4J UK is a bit better when it comes to dumb ordnance, but if you really have that itch for smart ordnance, then the Jaguar IS can still do it. It just, again, has a really, really tough time versus other aircraft. But that said, thanks so much for watching. If you don't mind, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. Let me know what you guys think about the Jaguar IS in the comments below. Thanks again. I'll see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.